Who should play the Flash? Timothy Chalamet? Tom Holland?
Dude.
No, I can't be Tom Holland.
Timothy would be sick.
Timothy would be cool because I feel like Timothy and Tom Holland get compared to a lot.
Yeah.
Because they're like similar age, similar build, and whatnot. I feel they probably compete for roles like they really need to. Timothy's a more talented actor for sure.
If Timothy,
but it would be
bulked
cool
up,
if he was on the DC
yeah, if
side.
Timothy bulked up, man, he's already
don't know
got
if he can
the
bulk
frame
up.
for it. I will see.
He's French, man. Those guys are small. No, I'm being serious. He is. He's a small Frenchman, bro.
Oh man. Oh yeah, Timothy.
What is up, guys? We are back to another episode of Back to the Feature. This is your host, Michael McFly, and
Dalton. Woo-woo.
We didn't do the poll on the friends, on the followers.
No, I don't know. We got some feedback on it. I think.
Yeah, I think it's Dirty Doll. I think that was what was leading.
Yeah, Dirty Dalton. Right,
Dirty.
right. Dalton and Micah McFly.
Yeah,
Formerly Big Dalton.
Dirty Dalton, Michael McFly for sure. We saw Blue Beetle this weekend. I think we both enjoyed it. This is going to be a spoiler review. So if you are not a fan of listening to spoilers before you see a movie, this is not the review for you. If you don't care, go ahead and listen. Or if you've already seen the movie, go ahead and listen. You'll probably have some opinions of your own. I think we're going to do a synopsis really quick, right, Dalton?
Yeah, so let's go ahead and break it down. This isn't like a full-on breakdown of the movie, but an alien scarab chooses Jaime Reyes to be its symbiotic host, bestowing the recent college graduate with a suit of armor that's capable of extraordinary powers, forever changing his destiny as he becomes the superhero known as Blue Beetle.
That's a pretty good, quick review.
Yeah, that's IMDb for you right there.
Yeah.
All right, so let's break this thing down real quick. Are we pass or are we gas?
We are on the pass. I'm sorry. We are on the gas side. Gas side.
Yeah, definitely gas side.
I'm on the gas side. I enjoyed the movie. It's holding. Last time I checked, it was on 84 on Rotten Tomatoes. I feel like that is a little generous for me.
Oh, wow.
I'm in the 70s, just because the villain is garbage. Not a fan of the villain at all.
You're talking about Susan Sarandon
and the other one, and her like henchman.
Carapex.
Yeah.
Okay.
Susan Sarandon, like excellent actress, really top tier actress.
Yeah.
Like, you seen Stepmothers?
Yeah. She was great in it. She's a good talent.
She is. No, top tier talent. I don't think and I don't know, is she comic book accurate? Is that like a real villain?
Yeah, she was, I don't remember the first name, Cord. She was the daughter of the main Cord founder. So that is comic book accurate.
Yeah, I don't know. She didn't seem to have an arc. Like, she was just like evil, which I'm not a fan of like villains like that. I want them to be like...
She's just bad to be bad.
Right.
Because she's greedy.
I need there to be a why. And then like her henchman was super corny, like a lot of his lines. And the CGI for his suit was ass. I'm going to say ass. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a bad like Gundam or like Pacific Rim type design.
Yeah, the design I wasn't into. I thought Jaime Reyes looked alright. I thought the Blue Beetle suit looked pretty cool. Yeah, the Blue Beetle
costume looked great. And speaking of Zolo Mariduena, I'm so sorry about that pronunciation, but bro, he was awesome. He crushed it.
Yeah, did a good job.
Everyone was really good.
Everyone was really good in the confines of that family. I think we talked about that before. Like the mom, the sister, the grandma, the dad, the uncle. George Lopez stole the show for sure. He had the best on-screen performance. But I feel like that family just worked. Like, they were funny, they were quirky, they were like kind of obnoxious, but it worked. It felt like a real family dynamic. Whereas like when it got outside of that, I thought Jenny, was that her name? Yeah, Jenny
Cord.
I thought Jenny, the actress who played Jenny, did a pretty good job. I thought the character was pretty I thought she was funny. She was a pretty girl.
Yeah.
But besides her, everything else inside of the family I wasn't a huge fan of.
George Lopez, them, yeah. There wasn't really any other characters.
No, not really. Not really.
At all.
No.
You had Dr. Sanchez.
Oh, there was the dude they called... Yeah, you're saying it. Yeah.
Dr. Sanchez, which he had a funny little like end portion.
Yeah.
If you have a lot of Latino culture within your life, whether that is you're part of like you are Latino, like from a Latino family, or a lot of your Latino friends, like there's a lot of jokes that will really resonate with you.
Sure. Yeah.
And there's some jokes that are going to fly over people's heads that don't have any idea because they don't provide subtitles and everything that's said.
Right.
To keep it at a good rating. But it is funny.
Yeah.
Man. Like some of the stuff that they're talking about, some of the stuff they're going over, the fact that George Lopez's truck is like an old, Tacoma with like the big spoiler on the back and the chrome on the taillights. Yeah. It's just funny.
It was super cool. Well, first of all, the product placement of Taco, which is the first 4 letters of Tacoma, which is cool. Yeah. The product placement of the Tacomas were super cool. They did a partnership with Toyota Tacoma for the movie, and then I thought some of the placement in the movie, like his sweatshirt, like because what's his Jaime Reyes at the beginning of the film, he comes back from college. He graduated pre-law, and then we don't know like where he was or what he was doing. But then when he walks out to like hang out with his dad, he's wearing a sweatshirt and it says Gotham Law on it.
Yeah, it was so sick,
which was super cool. And then Dalton peeped it, and I saw it for like a millisecond. But then when they did the landscape of the buildings, there was a what was it?
There was a LexCorp.
Yeah.
So like Lex Luthor was there. There was another big one that I saw, like when you were seeing the whole cityscape. So the director did a good job. Yeah. He liked the director. They really added a lot of fun stuff to there. He really liked David Ayer's Man of Steel. So he took a lot of inspiration from that and gave a lot of praise. Before the movie came out. And so you really got to see that. They did talk about Superman. They talk about Batman.
Yeah, it says Batman's a fascist.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That was a really funny line from George Lopez. So you're in the universe. You're just outside of all the action. They talk about the Flash being in a Central City.
Yeah, they
or
do.
Whatever it's called. Yeah, super cool.
Yeah, no, it was nice. The other thing I was gonna, my other issue with it was, and we've talked about this off camera, but I didn't like that he has like this crazy moral high ground, which I think like should maybe go away. And in his very first fight scene, he's about to die, and the what's it called? What's the suit called? The Scarab, or whatever the AI is. The Scarab is like, yo, let me help you, and he's like, no murderous weapons. It's like, bro, he's trying to crush your skull right now. Yeah. I don't know how realistic that is, I guess is what I mean. It's like when we go into fight or flight, I think we're gonna like try to
use
save our lives.
Everything at your arsenal.
Yeah,
to survive.
And there's no context to why, like Batman, there's a lot of context to why he doesn't want to murder people.
Right.
There's no context to why Jaime Reyes like doesn't want to like murder people.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to.
He just like has this thing. And then like we talked about before, his parents and his family cares this much about murdering people. They don't care at all about murder. His uncle's like stomping on people. His grandma's shooting mowing people
with a machine gun.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. So it's like it doesn't seem like that was instilled in him as a child or anything. It's just like his own personal conviction. And then it doesn't seem to hold up in the sense. And then at the end of it, like he's about to kill a boy.
Well, he lets him like kill him. So he knows he's going to.
He's about to kill him. The Scarab stops him.
Yeah.
So it's like, which is like kind of interesting. So I don't know.
It's kind of weird that they both had the power. Like when the Scarab wanted to kill, and then Jaime did not. Jaime had enough power to stop the Scarab, but then also the Scarab had enough power to stop Jaime. And this is after they were interlinked,
right?
Or like their minds melded, or whatever.
Right. The DNA
explanation was.
Yeah. The cells became one, is what she says. Yeah.
So you still have a duality there.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. I don't know if this is all like pulled directly from the comics.
I don't know either.
The comics have been around forever. Steve Ditko. He was a co-creator of Peter Parker's character. He's the one that created
Blue Beetle.
Ted Kord.
Gotcha.
Which was the original Blue Beetle character.
Gotcha.
So they kind of did like what Ant-Man did with, Hank Pym was Ant-Man for the entirety of the Ant-Man series when he was introduced, and then Scott Lang was the character.
I can't remember what I was going to ask.
Okay.
Yeah, that just like totally went through my head. I had a question for you. Jenny
Kord, I think in the comics, becomes a female Blue Beetle, so the Scarab will connect with her. I don't know if there's gonna be any more of this movie.
What's the runtime of the film?
Let me look that up.
Over 2 hours, right? Like 2 hours and 10 minutes. I feel like
it was 2 hours and 7 minutes.
Oh, hey, that's pretty close. I get you can't fit it all in though. At the same time,
and you shouldn't try to.
Yeah, but I mean, could there have been 10 more minutes where we get some pretext to why he's so against killing people? Maybe he went to law school and there was like a scene of like, you know, maybe he had to sit in on a murder trial and that affected him differently. I'm totally ad-libbing here. I have no idea.
If he was in Gotham, like everyone knows Batman doesn't kill people, he would put them in Arkham.
That's
right?
true.
So like they could have said anything in his like a montage.
Yeah, they could have given him some reason to not like why his head's about to get crushed and he's just like, oh no weapons. I'm just like, come on. I don't know. But
overall, it's a very pro-family.
Super
pro-family message.
Super pro-family.
And we talked about this in our last Instagram post where you have these blockbuster films which don't need to be very thematically heavy to be successful. It can just be, you know, action-packed or entertaining. And it's still decided to go ahead and have a very pro-family, pro-mom and dad, you know, in the household message.
Right.
So you have these audiences coming in here having, you know, taking in good quality family content.
And you get the idea that Jaime Reyes is like a young, like respectable kid, and he's able to do great things because of his home life. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's a direct representation because of like how he was raised and had the family values that they bestowed into him. And I think that's important. I think that's like very realistic. I think it's a problem that happens in the world now when there's not a quality family home life. You know, a lot of times people, unfortunately, it doesn't always turn out the greatest for everyone.
Right.
Whereas like it does matter having your mom and your dad and like your grandparent, people in your life that are pouring into you to make you become like the best version of yourself. And I think they represented that super, super well.
And that's not just an opinion. Like that's a science.
No, that's statistics.
Statistically based. Yeah.
No, for sure. And so I don't know, man. No, it was awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't say enough about, and I didn't even know George Lopez was doing work like this anymore. Like I didn't know he was just hopping on blockbuster films, like, you know, whenever.
He did that one dog movie a few years ago. Remember?
Was he a voice?
Yeah.
I figured he'd do that, but I haven't seen him, like his face on film in a long time.
Yeah, I know. After the George Lopez show, he had a few little projects, but really nothing.
He had a talk show for a little bit, like a comedic, late night.
That's right.
Late night George Lopez, which was funny.
Yeah. Hey, tell me about the George Lopez show, like that was on Nickelodeon or Nick at Night.
Yeah.
That show.
So funny.
One of the best.
Oh, it's so good. So good. He's just funny, man. He's one of those comedians, you know, like comedy's so subjective, right? Like, you know, I can think Dave Chappelle's hilarious and my wife could be like just sit there and not laugh, right? And that's like a real story. But I find George Lopez so funny, man.
Yeah.
I think he's hilarious.
I was kind of hoping that like the character that played Ernie in the show, in the George Lopez show, like what if he would have shown up?
That would have been nice. Like maybe a security guard. Like
that's all we needed. That's
all we needed.
He could have just walked around with a security badge or something.
Yeah. Like the guy who, like when he goes to get the job, like there was a woman there.
Yeah.
That could have just been Ernie.
That could have been Ernie.
Yeah, that would have been great. That would have been really, really nice.
I wonder if they reached out to him at all. I don't know. George Lopez might like hate all those people. You know, I don't know.
Yeah. That's definitely possible. I thought the little kid in that show, Max, yeah, the son, so funny, bro. Because he's like kind of dumb and he just kind of does silly stuff the whole time. I always thought that kid was funny. But yeah, is it true? Sorry, back to Blue Beetle. Yep. Is it true they are not doing a sequel? Because I heard that. I
don't think it made enough money to warrant a sequel, and I think they're ready to move on to James Gunn's projects.
Yeah, and that's the very, very, very interesting thing about Blue Beetle is that it was made by the old director of, what is it, director of creativity or director of creative director, something like that.
Walter Hamada is in he's credited as.
What's James Gunn's new title at DC? Isn't it creative director?
Creative director.
Anyway, Blue Beetle was made before James Gunn's appearance in DC, and
he's the co-chairman and co-CEO of DC Studios.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was all filmed and made before he got there, so he had no say in it. He said it could be released and it could be a part of his extended universe because it had nothing to do with the old universe. So,
it would be a story outside of the DCU. Which is, remember we had that big
DCU
announcement?
DCEU.
The DCEU is like the Henry Cavill, now Gal Gadot. We don't know if she's going to be in the DCU or not. But, yeah.
Oh, so the DCU is the new...
They're clumping the old stuff alongside any other... Like, Robert Pattinson is not in the DCU. he's in the DCEU because they're going to continue to make more Robert Pattinson Batmans, right?
So they're saying Blue Beetle's in the DCEU?
Blue Beetle likely will be in the DCEU. I don't think he's going to be a recurring character in the DCU.
So he's not going to be in James Gunn's thing at all?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's kind of sucks.
Yeah, I think that they were originally planning on. Yeah, I think they originally were planning on doing that, but no, I don't think that they're moving forward with it.
Oh, that's kind of so they're not.
But
so he's done.
Zolo, the response back to this character is Blue Beetle, and then there is some stuff towards the end. This is a spoiler, but this like the mid credit scene or whatever.
Yeah,
like they still have so much space to work on this story.
Right. Yeah. That's true.
And they still have villains that like aren't like were primary villains to Blue Beetle that were not discussed in the movie at all. Mm-hmm. Like Carapax was a bad guy, but it's like Spider-Man. Like you could have the Vulture. They chose the Vulture. He's one of the Sinister Six, but like when you think about Spider-Man, you think about like Green Goblin or Venom and Carnage.
Dr.
Like,
Octopus.
Yeah. So you still have like such a big lineup of people that Blue Beetle are.
Why does Spider-Man have the best villains?
Because Spider-Man was the most popular comic book character for a very long time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, learned something. Well, I feel like Spider-Man definitely has the best villains in Marvel, and Batman has the best villains in DC.
I agree. Well, they're definitely the most iconic. Because you have characters like the Joker is awesome because he's not super powered, right? He's just smart.
Yeah, he's just mental.
Yeah, smart to work with. And then like Superman has cool people, but like Lex Luthor is just a rich dude that like can just kind of build out
Superman's villains kind of suck. I've always thought
Darkseid's really cool.
Darkseid's okay, but like Batman, it's like a list of them that are sick. You got the Joker, you got Bane, you got Penguin,
got Al Mundy,
Catwoman. You got he was in the Gotham show.
Yeah.
You got Mr. Freeze, an awesome character.
Yeah, because you have Gotham, you have a whole city.
Yeah, you got Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
It goes on forever. Oh, you got Ra's al Ghul. It's just man. I thoroughly. Oh, there's like one that flies. That's like an electric thing. It's like buzzed. You know what I'm talking about? It's like it's like a woman. It's
maybe I can't think of
like Lightning Bee or something like that. She's kind of cool. She was in the cartoon. You didn't watch the Warner Brothers cartoons that was on Saturday mornings?
The animated series, like the really dark, gritty one. I mean, I watched it.
That was a good series.
I remember a lot of it.
Okay, you hate it. Gotcha.
That is not what I said.
All right. Anyway,
that had Bruce or Kevin Conroy. What's his name? He's a legend. I should remember. He just passed away. He was the voice.
Yeah,
of Batman.
He was. Yes. Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah, I don't know. I think Batman has the best villains in DC for sure.
Well, we'll see. We might see more Blue Beetle villains. Maybe not. I don't know.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so. I like the kid. I like George Lopez. I like the director. I think did a good job. Like my biggest issue with it is like I felt like some things weren't explained, and then like to have such a moral standing on something and then just not explain why they have that moral standing, I think is like kind of weird. But then also I think the whole villain side of it sucked. Like that's my biggest problem with it.
Yeah.
There's no why. There's no like.
It was a weak villain.
Weak villain. So but and I was thinking about it too. A lot of times in the first movies of like trilogies, I feel like the villain's kind of weak.
Yeah.
Because maybe they're putting more time in like the backstory of the character, and less into the villain.
You don't have time to flesh the villain out because you have to spend time fleshing the hero out.
Right. I was thinking about that. I didn't like I don't. You said Ant-Man earlier. Now I'm thinking about Ant-Man, but I didn't like MODOK before he's MODOK, whatever he is.
Oh, you're talking about the Hornet?
Yeah.
Yeah, Daryl.
Oh man, I didn't like his at all. I couldn't stand his. I thought he was lame. He's lame. Both villains, he's lame.
I guess if we're thinking about trilogies, within the movies they follow the 3-act structure, right? Your rising action, climax, and then your resolution. Within the trilogy, it seems like the climax can still also happen within the second movie. Like thinking about The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Like what's at stake? The stakes have to rise in the sequel, or else it's not a good one.
The Dark Knight is an exception to like there being a bad villain in the first movie because Ra's al Ghul and Scarecrow are excellent villains.
Well, that's true, but I don't think that they're as good or as well received as like Joker or Harvey Dent.
No, that's true. That's true. Or Bane. Right.
Oh yeah, in the third movie. Yeah. That's
true. Well, I think Liam Neeson, like
Well, he's just a good actor. That doesn't mean Ra's al Ghul was.
You don't like Ra's al Ghul in that
I
film?
didn't say that. No, I'm
you're
saying
you are.
I'm saying
that.
he wasn't as good or well received. So like in this Blue Beetle movie, like Carapax and Susan Sarandon's character, Chris, whatever her name was, Cord.
Yeah.
She like they just sucked as characters.
Yeah.
So like that opens it up for the next series. Like we already love the main character. We love the love interest, Jenny Cord. We like his family.
Yeah.
Whenever they show up on screen,
true.
we don't have to spend time liking
It's
them.
a nice foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have built a nice foundation. That's why I really want them to make a sequel.
Yeah.
Come on,
James Gunn.
Come on, James. Come on, man. Do it for
Jamie.
us. Throw him in. He needs to just throw him in the DCU. Kick
Good work.
Ezra out and put Zolo in there.
Oh, I
Whatever.
think Ezra's already out. Yeah.
Is he out?
Yeah.
But he was in the post-credit scene at Flash.
Yeah, but they're not doing anything else with that.
Ezra's,
They were gonna originally they shot that thing like 4 or 5 different times.
Is Ezra done?
Ezra's not gonna be back in the DCU.
So are they recasting him or just no Flash?
I'm sure there's gonna be a recast. I don't even think he's gonna show up like ever in a cameo or anything.
Who should play the Flash? Timothy Chalamet? Tom Holland?
Dude,
No, I can't be Tom Holland.
Timothy would be sick.
Timothy would be cool because I feel like Timothy and Tom Holland get compared to a lot.
Yeah.
Because they're like similar age, similar build, and whatnot. I feel they probably compete for roles, so like they really need to. Timothy's a more talented actor for sure.
If Timothy,
but it would be
bulked
cool
up,
if he was on the DC
Yeah, if
side.
Timothy bulked up, man, he's
I
already
don't
got
know
the,
if he can
the
bulk
frame
up.
for it. I will see.
He's French, man. Those guys are small. No, I'm being serious. He is. He's a small Frenchman, bro.
Oh man. Oh yeah, Timothy would be a great Flash. That's probably I can't think of a better choice.
Well, he's young. He'd be a nice little Barry. He would do a good
High
job.
energy,
like quirky and like weird and be kind of off. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So the best takeaway from our Blue Beetle review is that Timothy Chalamet
needs to be the
should
Flash.
be the Flash after he's Wonka.
Right. And done with Dune.
Done with Dune.
Yep.
Do we know if Denise is gonna only make 2 Dune movies?
Villanueva.
Yeah. Is he stopping after the second one?
I think he's a really good director, though.
Yeah.
No.
Anyways.
Well, wait. What do you mean? No, they've only greenlit the next one.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That's how they did the first one too. The first one was kicking ass in theaters for like weeks, and they still didn't greenlight the second one. It took like a while.
I remember that.
Yeah, I think it was because it was so expensive, and they were like trying to make sure it was really, really worth it.
Ludwig Göransson, not cheap.
No.
So speaking of the music in this, I thought was really good.
Very good.
They had some good licensed music, some good use of that, and even the original score was really good. Kind of had some like Spider-Verse, like some of the really high pitched. I don't even know. They're not like it's not like an 808 or anything, but just like a cool noise, a cool effects.
It was
like,
nice,
interspliced within the music. Really good job on that.
It was nice. You know what they should do? Here we go. I'm thinking about it. If James Gunn doesn't want it in the DCU, right? DC. I'm trying to get him. For the longest, I thought James Gunn's version was the DCEU. They should give. How do you say his first name? Zolo. Zolo.
Yeah.
Zolo. They should give Zolo in the cast, like an HBO Max series, like how they did with Titans and stuff.
Yeah, like a live action.
Yeah, give him a live action series, man.
Yeah, let him tell a story.
Let it live on. Come on now.
He can still show up. It's
Yeah.
not like he's contracted out of it.
Make it rated R. Maybe not.
That's why it works.
No. Yeah.
When's the rated R? Wait. Batman wasn't rated R, was it?
No. PG-13.
Bruh.
The Watchmen was rated R. That came out in like
And
20...
the Killing Joke was rated R. The animated
2013.
movie.
I don't think I saw that.
That's good.
And Deadpool's rated R.
Yeah.
Which I have yet to see. Don't come for me. Anyway,
All right. So yeah, Blue Beetle.
I think it's a gas. I'm gonna give it your 1 through 100.
I'm giving it an 80.
Ooh. Okay. Yep. I'm gonna go 75.
75. That's
75.
your lowest, I think, since we've been reviewing movies. That you've given something.
Oh, it's not gonna be the lowest for long. I'll tell you that. Because we have seen some things recently that are getting reviewed, and yep.
I know what that means.
So
awesome, guys. Well, I think that's pretty much all we have for this episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram. We're on TikTok. You can find us on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
We have the video along with the audio on YouTube if you're just listening to us right now.
One more thing I did want to say, I do think it's appropriate for families. There's some young kids in the theaters. I think they could totally digest it. I think it was fun enough. Like, obviously jokes are going to go over their head and whatnot, but if dad had like a 7-year-old son, wanted to take them. I think they both enjoy it. I think they both get a lot out of it.
Yeah, we had a full theater,
And it was packed.
There were some kids in there, and everyone was having a good time.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. So, Micah McFly is out.
Yeah, Dirty Dalton apparently is checking out as well. Thanks for checking in, guys.
Nice.